Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am your Muse Traci and I am your favorite manifestation coach. I am here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling and to stop suffering. You are not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I offer one-on-one coaching and I am now offering group coaching as well to help you transform and revolutionize your life in all areas. In my coaching program, we take a deep dive into your subconscious programming or your belief system, and we do the work to change the programming that is effectively covering up or masking your true nature. This program is designed to be the last coaching that you will need. And I'm just going to insert this in here. I've been hearing feedback from my clients. They don't like this part of my intro because some of them are wanting to stay longer. There's no rush, you guys, okay? This is all a personal preference. Some of my clients stay with me 2 to 3 months. Some stay for 1 month. Some stay for longer than 3 months or are starting to stay for longer than 3 months. And so, yeah, this... No pressure, okay? Again, this is your preference. I also had another one of my clients remind me or tell me that Neville was with Abdullah, for 5 years. So again, there's no rush. I'm here to take you through as much as you need, as much, assistance, help as you feel you need and that you want. A lot of my clients also start off with me wanting to manifest an SP. We go through the program and they are getting a new job or they're starting a business. This is actually happening with most of my clients, if not all of them. So yeah, we'll clean that up in the intro because yeah, I hear the feedback, you guys. Okay, so I will take you through the process of cleaning up your programming. We will meet 2 to 3 times a week. In between sessions, you have homework on your own to do, work that you'll be doing on your own, and you also have email access to me. So it's a lot of hand holding and it is an intensive program, but I designed it to be intense. And this is actually one of the things that most of my clients say to me is, wow, actually this meeting 3 times a week has made everything click so much faster, right? So that's what we're going for, real transformation in every area of your life. And getting you back to your true nature of being an effortless and unlimited creator. Okay. If you're interested in learning more, leave me a comment down below. You can also send me an email you can find the email in my bio. All right, you guys. So today's video is all about acceptance. And this is something that is very often and commonly misunderstood. And I get this question a lot from my one-on-one clients wanting me to explain. But if I accept, this is what my clients say, if I accept the current reality, that's not what I want. Okay, so that's what we're talking about in this video, and we're clearing it up. So I'll just give it to you right out of the gate. Acceptance is not choosing. Acceptance is acceptance. And it does not mean, when you practice acceptance of what is, it does not mean that you are choosing. Okay, it does not mean that. So you don't need to be fearful about accepting what is if it is not what you want. These are 2 different things, very different things. Acceptance and your decision or your choice about what you want. And I also get this question a lot, so I'll just address it as well right out of the gate. Well, what if I accept this thing, this current circumstance, be it like less money or no contact from my specific person? If I accept this, will God or the universe or whatever co-creative powers that I'm co-creating with, will they misunderstand me? The answer is no. You are never misunderstood because you are co-creating, but you're co-creating with you, your higher self, right? So your higher self is you. Your higher self is never confused about what you want because your higher self is you. It's the non-physical part of you, the part of you that is you're co-creating with. So yeah, there's no risk of a misunderstanding. Again, let's be clear that you need to be clear on what you want. If you're wishy-washy, if you're back and forth, then yes, there would be confusion. But if you know definitely what you want, the universe, God, your higher self is not confused. There's no risk of your higher self getting the wrong message. Okay? So, we've all heard the expression, I think, what you resist persists. So you could be, this is one scenario, you could be doing all the techniques, visualizing, inner conversating, imagining, scripting, affirming. You could be doing all of these things while simultaneously being very resistant to the current manifested reality. And so all of your, techniques and your work will not produce much results, if any at all, in your 3D reality because you're resisting what currently is. This is also probably a little bit of a mindset of, I'm doing these techniques to change out there. No, you're never doing techniques to change out there. There's no one to change but self. You're always doing techniques to shift you, to remind you, to shift your state of being, to be in the state of the wish fulfilled. This is the purpose of doing techniques if you are doing techniques, okay? So we're not doing it to make something happen out there because we really need the current circumstances to change. Why do you need the current circumstances to change? Usually the reason is there's a misunderstanding of who you are and what circumstances are. Right? You think maybe you're a victim to that. You think that those are just happening. The circumstances are just happening. And you forget, you maybe have a misunderstanding that those circumstances are also your creation. Whatever is in your current 3D reality that you're feeling that you need to change, that you're resisting being there at all, that is your creation. And so when you forget that and you resist the current manifested reality, you are resisting your own creation, probably also maybe on some level denying that it is your own creation. All of this is detracting and taking away from your creative power. It's a misunderstanding. It's a, maybe not fully owning and knowing your full power. And all of this brings your level of power down. So again, you will find yourself needing things to change. Need is a block, by the way. Needing things to change, resisting the thing being there. And then maybe on top of that, doing, trying to get out there to change. Meanwhile, inside of you is not changing and you are resisting the current reality. And so it also can't change. Very frustrating cycle to be in, okay? Not fun at all. So we don't want to be there. So what to do? First and foremost, understand who you are. Understand that you are the operant power, the God of your reality. Whatever words resonate with you, if it's not comfortable for you to say that you are the God of your reality, you can say you're the only one creating. You can call yourself the operant power. Find the words that resonate with you. The words aren't necessarily what is important. It's the understanding. It's the understanding that I am the only one creating. I am doing it all. I'm responsible for everything. There's nothing else going on, right? So that understanding is what's really important. Okay, great. So then if that is your understanding about who you are, then what is your understanding about what 3D reality is? Well, it must be that the 3D reality is your creation, right? It's not happening to you. It's not happening to you. It's not being done by some other force outside of you. That is your creation. So if you understand that and you notice that your creation, your current creation is not of your preference, totally fine. Totally fine. You practice acceptance. Okay, yes, I see how this thing is my creation. Maybe you can even look back into your past assumptions or your past thoughts and understands very specifically how this is your creation. It's not an absolutely necessary step, but maybe it's very obvious to you how this is your creation. Great. Again, you don't need that step because, again, if you understand who you are, you understand what 3D reality is, you always know, yeah, I did that. That's my creation. That was my assumption. So not totally necessary to always know what your assumption was. Also, the unwanted things in your reality, you created those unconsciously, right? This is how your programming comes into play here. This is why looking at your programming and changing your programming is so important, because you had been thinking from that programming and unconsciously thinking from that programming and creating unwanted circumstances. That's how they show up. Unwanted circumstances are never created consciously by you, right? You didn't consciously think about those things. You wouldn't, because you consciously tend to think about what it is that you prefer to experience. I hope. Should be that way. Okay. So when you know who you are, you understand what 3D reality is. Now, if what is showing up in your 3D reality with, pick a subject, this is not subject specific. It can be money, it can be a job, it can be your current living situation, it can be your relationships, whatever it is, you accept that that is your creation and you understand that you're not a victim to that circumstance. Okay. So with these understandings, now you can start to practice acceptance. You can accept the current circumstances. You can accept the current 3D reality, understanding that this is actually your superpower. Your acceptance of what is dissolves the resistance to what is. What you resist persists. So we don't want to resist what is, especially if it is what you do not prefer to have in your experience. So when you practice acceptance of what is, and this does not mean you're choosing it, this does not mean you're choosing it. Acceptance of what is what allows you to choose. This is your superpower. If you're resisting what is, you don't have the chance, the opportunity, the power to choose, because you are accidentally, through your resistance, holding that thing there. So you don't really have the power to choose what you prefer. You're holding the unwanted thing there by saying, I don't want this. Why is this here? This needs to change. Can this go away? I need to see something different. You're holding it there, right? So when you release that resistance and you release the need for that thing to change, when you release the need for what you want to be, showing up in your 3D reality, now you have the power to choose. Now you have the power to deliberately select what it is and allow that to show up in your 3D reality. This is literally already the power that you have. This is your birthright. I've been saying this a lot lately. It's not a skill that you have to develop. This is already a skill that you have. Again, you're either doing it consciously or unconsciously. You're already doing this brilliantly, perfectly, so brilliantly that you aren't even always aware that you're doing it. So you don't need to develop a skill to create your reality. You're already doing it. This is just how this reality works. You may not have been aware of it. Okay. You're becoming aware of it. You're learning these things. And when you practice acceptance, now you can really use your birthright in selecting what it is that you actually prefer to experience. All right, you guys, so I'm going to read a quote from the book Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender by David Hawkins. I've mentioned this book before, and there's a chapter all about acceptance. So I'm going to read a couple of quotes from this book. In the state of acceptance, there is the feeling that nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to be changed. Everything is perfect and beautiful the way it is. The world is to be enjoyed. There is compassion for others and for all living things. In this state, we automatically feel nurturing and supportive of others without feelings of sacrifice, right? So we can be nurturing and loving to others without feeling like we're at risk. There is no risk for feeling that way. That is, again, a misunderstanding of who you are and who the other person is. We're all one, right? So that's a misunderstanding if you feel like loving someone, being accepting of someone, being nurturing to someone is somehow a risk to you or a threat to you or taking away from you. Nothing could be further from the truth. So another quote is, in acceptance, we are free to be in the present. Once we have accepted our own true nature and the ways of the universe as they are reflected in our world, there is no longer regret about the past, nor is there fear of the future. Fear of the future no longer exists when the past has been healed. This is because in the usual ego-oriented state of consciousness, the ego tends to project the past upon the future. And in a past that is viewed negatively becomes fearful when projected upon the imaginary future. Our letting go of the lower energies of guilt, fear, anger, and pride has alleviated the weight of the past and cleared the clouds of the future. So powerful, you guys. So this is also something that I see, especially in the beginning when I'm working with new clients, is that they continuously refer to past events and circumstances as a means of predicting their future. This is a great mistake unless your past is full of experiences that you would love to recreate. Your past does not dictate your future, as stated by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I was about to forget his name. I think he's responsible for that quote, a brilliant quote. Your past does not dictate your future unless you keep saying that it does. Okay, so we're dissolving the fear of the past. And then once we heal the past, we forgive the past, we understand how that came about, we understand again who we are, who I am in my reality, who you are in your reality, and what circumstances are. You understand that you have always been the one creating. And this is not for the purpose of blame, you guys. This is not for the purpose of blame. Because again, most of the time, probably you are doing it unconsciously. So how can you blame yourself for something that you didn't know you were doing? Okay, so we're not doing that. That is not helpful in any way for anyone involved. It's a waste of time, in my opinion. Guilt and blame of the self is not helpful. And it's always fine to want to do better, right? Self-observation, nothing wrong with that. So you can look at what has been and decide in this moment, wow, okay, that was something that I did or I experienced or I created. But in this moment, I would choose to do something different. I would choose to do something I would choose to be something different. I would choose to create myself in this now moment in a different light. And that is what is going on here. This is a continuous process of creating who you are. You're not discovering who you are. You're creating who you are in every moment. Every moment is an opportunity. Every interaction with every person is an opportunity. Every circumstance, every challenge, every opposite reflection is an opportunity. Who are you now choosing to be? Who are you now creating yourself to be in this moment? That's what's going on here. So accepting what is your superpower. It allows you the freedom to choose. Now, I want to put this in here because, especially with a lot of my clients are high achieving people. They have achieved a lot in their life and they are always sort of wanting to be better. So acceptance, and by the way, we're not just accepting 3D reality. Sometimes this acceptance needs to be pointed at the self. So accepting the self, accepting where you have been, accepting where, your past has been, accepting where you are right now. This acceptance of self is enormously important because you can't withhold love from yourself and create a loving environment. The environment is reflecting you, what you're doing on the inside of you. So if you're withholding love from yourself, your reality in some way, in some capacity, is going to reflect that back to you. And you don't need to be doing that anyway. You are free to have unconditional love for yourself. You are free to experience and express and cultivate full acceptance of the self right now. And this, again, doesn't mean you're choosing this version of you right now. So what I mean by that is accepting yourself fully as you are right now doesn't mean that you don't have higher goals for yourself. You can have higher goals for yourself and all the time love yourself along the way. This is not really like a suggestion. It's sort of a requirement. This is, again, your superpower in allowing you to get to that next level of where you want to be by loving yourself where you are right now, having full acceptance of where you are right now. Where you are right now is your creation. It's what you've created yourself to be in the past. So we're not, denying our creation or shaming our creation. No, we're just looking at it and saying, okay, this is where I am right now. This is who I am. This is what I currently experience myself to be. And you can have this self-observation without criticizing, without judging, without shaming, without withholding love from yourself. That's not a great practice. So acceptance of the self, even if you want more, and most of us do, right? That's why we're on this journey. We're always wanting to improve. We're always wanting to go to the next level. Like I was saying in one of my past videos, there's always another level to go, but we're not withholding love until we are at the next level. That would mean that you're always withholding love from yourself because there's always another level to go. So this acceptance of the self also is your superpower. What you resist persists. If you're resisting some quality inside of you, or maybe it's your physical body you're resisting, what you resist persists. So practice full acceptance, loving acceptance, unconditional love of the self and of the circumstances, and you will then have the ability to choose. This is, again, your birthright. This is what you're meant to have. You already have this ability. You just have to understand how to work it, how to use it. It's by accepting fully, not resisting what is. That is exactly what allows you to choose very consciously and very deliberately who you now create yourself to be and what you now create in your experience. All right, you guys, that's it for this video. Stay tuned for an upcoming video this weekend where I'm going to share one of my recent client success stories. So I'm looking forward to recording that for you guys, and I'll see you in that next video. Bye.